Hi everybody, welcome to the online orientation for the English Language Institute at Pace University. We're very excited to have you all studying with us. We wanted to provide you all with this video with some information on how to better prepare yourself as students before the beginning of your courses. Before we get into the information part of the video, we wanted to introduce you all to some staff members that you may be in contact before, after, or during your courses with us. My name is Rebecca Checo. I'm the admissions coordinator at the English Language Institute at Pace University. My primary role is to assist students with application and registration process for our programs and courses. I also answer any questions that students may have in regards to our courses and which course better fits them. We'll go ahead and introduce the other staff members, whoever wants to go next.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Brubaker. I am an Associate Director of Academics for the English Language Institute. I typically work up in Westchester, although now that we're online, we're all kind of doing everything. But I'm responsible for supporting instructors, helping to work through classes, and supporting students giving academic advising. So if you have any questions or concerns about your classes, feel free to let me know.
Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Leota and I am the Assistant Director of Custom Programs for the English Language Institute. So what it is that I do is I work with developing programs for international students to come and study at New York City or the Westchester campus. So I work with developing those custom programs.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff McElvena, and I'm also an Associate Director of Academics. I work on the New York City campus. So I am responsible for finding new teachers and developing curriculum, and sometimes I teach classes as well.
Thank you all. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into our agenda and the information portion of this video. So for our agenda today, we did the welcome and the staff introductions. I will be leading the account activation instruction portion. Jamie will speak about important PACE websites you'll be using as a PACE student. Sarah will go over an overview on how to access your classes. And then Jeff will talk about an academic overview, and then I'll close it out with just some important contact information you will be needing during your time with us. So in order to begin accessing the different websites that you do need in order to be a student at Pace University, the first thing that you're going to want to do is activate your PACE portal. So what is your My PACE portal? Your My PACE portal is a website that gives you access to information such as your payment, your class schedule, how to access grades. It's kind of like a one-stop shop. All students are required to activate their PACE portal account before the beginning of classes. In order to do that, the first step that you're going to want to do is finding your My PACE portal username. To do that, you would have to go to our website, whitepages.pace.edu, which I will show you all right now. So whitepages.pace.edu will help you find your PACE portal username. So in order to do that, you'll just type in your name. You'll go under person types and select only students. Just verify and search. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll be able to see your name. You'll click it. And then you'll see your username. So this will be your username. This username will be used whenever you have to log in into any of the important PACE websites you'll be using. You'll also see that your PACE email is your username followed by @pace.edu. Jamie will be able to just speak further on how to access your PACE email later within the video. Once you have your username, the next thing that you're going to want to do is set up your new password. So your actual account already has a default password. So we're going to access that to begin the account activation process. In order to do that, you will have to go to another website called adam.pace.edu, which I'll show you all in a second. To begin the account activation, you'll type in your default My PACE portal password, which is the first and last initial of your name, followed by a hyphen and followed by your birthday in the month, day, year format. It's very important to know that. And then it's separated by hyphens. So basically, this is what adam.pace.edu looks like. houses everything in regards to activating your account. If you forgot your password, how to reset it, if your account ends up being locked for whatever reason. And then also it'll help you with email forwarding, which Jamie will speak about that later within the video. So for the purposes of right now, activating your account, we're going to go to account activation, begin activation. And this is where you're going to type in the username that we found earlier from whitepages.edu, and then your default password, as I explained earlier. And you'll also have an explanation right here as well. Once you type in your default password, you'll press login and it will guide you into creating your new password. Your new password does have to be quite lengthy, and it does have to have a few different characters. Your password should only be something that you know. Once you create your new password, you'll be asked to answer 2 security questions. Remember, these should be answers that you only know. Once you do that, you will click save, then click continue, then log out, and then you're all set. So every time you have to access your PACE portal, your email, accessing your courses, you will be typing in your username from White Pages and the password that you just created right now. So now I'm going to have Jamie explain to you all some of the important PACE websites that you'll be using during your time with us.
Thanks, Rebecca. So today I'm going to go over the important PACE University websites that you're going to be seeing while you're studying with us this semester. So the PACE portal, as Rebecca mentioned before, is an important website for students. Now, since you've already registered and paid for your classes, at this point, you'll just be using this in the future as a one-stop shop for all of your student records. So on the portal, it's another way to view your class grades, request a transcript if you need something like that, submit payment for your classes. But as I've already mentioned before, you're already at that point in your studies here at PACE. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen and show you what logging into the PACE portal looks like. So once you've activated your PACE University username and your password, you will then have access to all of these PACE systems. So once you log in, you'll see this home screen. And on this bar over here where it says students, you'll click students. And you'll see all the different things that you can access in the future. If you had to pay your bill or register for a class, this is where you would do that. But again, you're already at that point in your studies here. So you really won't be needing the portal for much at this point. Now, another very important email website that you will be using is your PACE email account. So every student that studies at PACE University is going to get a PACE University student email. As soon as your course begins, you will have access to this course. Once you're registered, you'll have a student account and you will get this email account. Now, your email address is going to be your PACE username. So for example, we see this DL75882N, which is someone's username, followed by @pace.edu. Now, it's very important that you check your PACE email frequently because this is how you're going to stay in touch with your instructors. It's how you're going to receive important announcements from our offices at the English Language Institute and from PACE University, and also get information about upcoming events and activities. So it's important that you check this email regularly so you don't miss out on any important updates from us or your instructors. And also another benefit too is that you get to use this for student discounts as well, since it's an @edu email address. So you're definitely going to want to take advantages of that as well. So yes, it's important that you stay up to date on your PACE email. And there is a feature too, so you definitely don't miss out on any important updates, is to forward your email address to a personal account if you prefer to just check one email account a day. So I'll show you quickly how to do that. So you should be familiar with this website since this is where you went to activate your account. So you would just go to adam.pace.edu. So you'll see what you saw before, the account activation, account password, password reset, account unlock. So you'll just scroll down over here to the bottom where it says email forwarding. So again, you just, on the main page, you just scroll down on the right-hand side and you'll click email forwarding and you'll log in and you would just fill out forward to the following email address if you wanted to forward your student account to a different personal email address. You would just put in your personal email and then click Save Changes. Another important thing that you will have to do as a student this semester is upload a student photo. So all students must have a photo ID attached to their student record. So this will help your instructors recognize you and PACE and staff security for tracking purposes. If for some reason in the future you ever need to come to our campus, they'll already have you in our system and you'll be able to access the campus. And it needs to be similar to a passport photo style. So it has to be a clear image of your head. And to do that, you would just follow these steps, which also will get emailed to you. So you would log into this website with the same PACE username and password that you have been using this semester. You'll click profile, submit new photo, and then click submit, and then that will attach the photo to your student record. And now this is probably the most important website that you will need this semester as a student with us, which is classes.pace.edu. So this is where your class is going to be held. So you will need access to this to complete all of your assignments and your activities for the class that you're registered for. So this is where you're going to see information and announcements about your class from your instructors. This is where you're going to be submitting your assignments and doing all of your activities for the class. You're also going to be able to communicate with your instructor and your other classmates. And you'll be able to download important resources like handouts from the instructor, your syllabus, accessing your homework, and downloading your assignments. So this is where everything is going to be taking place this semester. And now Sarah is going to go into an in-depth overview of the classes.pace.edu platform.
So you're just going to go into whatever browser you use and you're going to type in classes.pace.edu and it's going to bring up once you sign in, it should have shown a sign in page. I sign in every day, so it just automatically comes up, but it'll come up where you sign in with your username and your password. Again, remember, like Jamie mentioned, if you don't activate your PACE account, you will not be able to access your email and you won't be able to access classes, which is where your course is going to be housed. And so it's really important to activate your account first. You're going to use your username and password to get in. And then once you get in, this is what you'll see. You'll see any announcements that are coming from the university itself. And then you'll be able to see the classes that you are registered for. At the bottom of this, if you scroll all the way down, you'll be able to see a calendar. Now, obviously, there's no upcoming events or dates because as you can see, this is in mid-December and the term doesn't start yet. But we're going to click into, I'm going to use TOEFL preparation as an example. So you'll click into whatever course you're trying to access. And then you're going to, oh, it's already as student. So this is what you'll see. So I have already posted a welcome to TOEFL preparation announcement where I give some information. I have my email address. I have a little letter that I've written. You can click on show all announcements if you want to see every announcement that your instructor has sent to you. I've only sent one, but if I had sent more than that, it would come up and you would be able to see it. So you can go back, you can click on here and it'll take you back to this area. If you go on the left side, you'll see all of these modules. So my course is organized based on weeks. So you can scroll all the way down and you can see that you can click into these weeks. It also has a calendar that shows you your upcoming events, what is due when. So for example, we will have our first optional class meeting on Thursday, January 28th. And then there's a couple assignments that are due on January 31st. So your assignment should be connected to your calendar here. So it gives you a reminder. And then at the very bottom, there's a teacher profile. You can find my email address down there. You can also get into this, so you can click onto the module week 1 and it will take you into this module. And as you can see, my modules are broken into 3 different sections. There's required reading and watching. This is what you would have to do in terms of watching something or reading something. Then there's assignments. That's what you have to do in this week. You'd have to complete. So you can see there's 3 in here. It gives you the due dates. And then there's extra content and practice. So for example, in this week, we're going to be talking about basic verb tense. And so I've chosen to give a couple extra practices in case students want to do that. Your instructor is going to have somewhat of a different system. It should look the same with modules, but you might have to get familiar with the way that they have organized your class as well. You can also click, so this is where we were at the beginning, we were at course home. You can also click on content if you want to just get right into the modules, and this will take you to the same place where your table of contents is on the left-hand side. The syllabus is in here, so you can click on syllabus and it will show you what my syllabus is for this class. You can see it inside, but you can also then download it if you want to download it and to keep it. So I just want to show you really quickly, if you go into whatever module, it will show you how much you've completed of that course so far. So for example, there are 5 topics in this course or in this module, and it showed that I have viewed 4 out of 5. Now, of course, I have viewed almost all of them as I'm the one who put them up here, but it's really helpful to show you the percentage of this module that you've completed. It also will do the same thing for the assignments. So when I was setting this up, I wanted to preview one of the assignments that I gave, and so it shows that I am 33% complete with these assignments. There's a couple different assignments that you can be given, so I want to show you a couple of them. The first one is the quiz. So for example, one of the first assignments in this class is a basic verb review. And so you'll be able to click in and see it, and then you will be able to begin and start the quiz. So it hasn't opened yet because the course is still private. It doesn't start for a little while, but you'll be able to click down here. There's a begin. It'll tell you that you can begin the quiz and then you can continue to take it. So that's one type of assignment you could get. Another type is an actual assignment where you'll have to upload something. So for example, that's speaking 101 or 1.1. So here you can see that in this assignment, you actually have to upload something. So you can upload something from your computer. It'll open your computer and you can see and choose what you want to upload, or you can record something. So for example, in this assignment, I'm asking students to record themselves answering questions. So you can record yourself on your computer, on your phone, and then upload it, or you can record yourself right from the assignment folder. You can record a video or you can record an audio, and then you can submit it after that. Now, it's important to remember that in classes, you're only able to submit something one time and you're not able to edit it afterwards. So for example, if you have 3 different recordings that you have to submit, don't click submit until all 3 recordings are uploaded into this folder. Otherwise, you won't be able to edit and change it afterwards. So that's what the assignments look like. You might also have discussion boards. You might have something called VoiceThread. There's a bunch of different types of assignments that instructors can give you, and they will be giving you instructions on how they want you to complete those as well. You can also go into activities, and if you click activities, you can go right to all of your assignments, your discussions, and your quizzes. There's 2 more things that I want to show you. The first one is email. So you can either email someone, one of your instructors or another student directly from your PACE email address, or you can come into classes and you can click on this email logo here, and you can choose to send an instant message, or you can send an email. And when you get to the email, you'll be able to send it directly if you know the person's email address, or you can use the address book. I'm not going to click on it because there are students from this class who are already registered, and it's going to show you their names and their information. But you can click on this address book, and it would give you all of your classmates and your instructors' names and their email addresses that then you can send, and this would go right to their email. You can also attach files here, again, record a video or an audio as well. So like Jamie mentioned, checking your PACE email is really important every day because this is how we will communicate with you, but it's also important to be familiar with how you can contact us in case you have questions. Now, the other thing that I wanted to show you is I wanted to show you your grades, where you can find your grades. So we're going to go back into course home, and then we'll click into content. And in your course content, you should be able to see this achievement task. Actually, you could have seen this before. I'm sorry. You didn't need to go back for it. This tab bar stays here no matter where you are. So you can always click back into a major area, and you can go down and you can check, if what your class progress is, how much you've completed. You can also check your grades. So you click on grades, and it'll show you these are the only 3 grades that assignments that I have posted so far. You'll see how many points these are worth. I haven't done any of these grades, of course, yet. I'm not an actual student, so they're still listed as 0, but you'll get the percentage, and then once you get the grade for it, you'll be able to you'll see if you got a 10 out of 11 or an 11 out of 11. You can also go into different settings and try to have your grades sent to you as soon as you get a grade put in. They can send you a notification. So this is just a very brief overview of what your classes will look like online for how you can learn. If you have questions about this, feel free to let us know. If you are enrolled in a class, or you're supposed to be enrolled in a class, and you don't see that class in your course home, or when you go into your classes .pace.edu and you don't see it here, make sure that you contact us immediately if you registered for a class or if you thought you registered for a class, because we want to make sure that you are able to see your class and begin participating as soon as possible.
So with online learning, of course, your classes are self-paced. So what does that mean? It's important to understand that self-paced doesn't mean that you can just wait until the end and do everything. It means that throughout the week, you can do things at your own pace. But all assignments have some sort of deadline that you have to complete the assignment by. So for example, in one of my classes, you always have to write something by Wednesday, and then all of the other assignments are due by Saturday. So just keep that in mind. Self-paced means you can do it anytime you want throughout that week, as long as it's before the deadline. So you always have plenty of time to get on and do the work that you need. Do remember that there is a policy on late work. We do allow you to submit assignments late for half credit. So you will only get half of a point or whatever for that particular assignment. And you can only do that up to 2 weeks after the due date. So I also wanted to just give you some of the best practices for online learning. So number 1, attend all the live class sessions. So every class is different. Some classes have optional live class sessions. Some classes have required live class sessions. You know which one you signed up for, but a best practice is to attend them all, whether they're optional or required. You really want to get as much as you can out of the course, and especially when we're online, you want to have as much interaction as possible. If you do miss a class session, we always put those up on classes for you to watch again after the fact. So keep that in mind. Be sure to check that the day after or a couple of days after, and they should be up there. And they'll be up there for at least 2 weeks after that's done. As I mentioned before, complete your assignments on time. This is important for completion credit. So we don't actually count your grade on assignments when we figure out how many hours you've completed, but you will not get a full hour for things that have been turned in late. So keep that in mind. If it happens occasionally, that's okay, but you don't want to turn in everything late. You won't get full credit at that point. Also, turn off or minimize distractions. That's important because you want to get the most out of your time, whether you're in a live session or not. So you want to turn off your phone, you want to close your web browser, do these things, your other web browsers, I should say, YouTube and whatnot. Stay in contact with the instructor and other students. This is important for you to really connect with your classmates in a way that can be difficult when we're not in the classroom. So usually there's some sort of group online. Sometimes people create a WhatsApp group or some other kind of group that you can join. You can always email other students and the instructor the way that Sarah just showed you earlier. If you have questions, be sure to ask them. That's important. If you have the question, someone else probably does too. So always ask the question. Check classes.pace.edu regularly. Check it every day if you can. That's an important place to go for updates, to see if something's been graded, to get a head start on your assignments that might be due later in the week. And also check your PACE email. This is something that people forget to do because they only use it for their PACE class, but it is important. We want you to check that email so that you can get any updates from your instructor or from other students very quickly. So how do you pass or get certified? So we have attendance to class meetings. So again, this is going to depend on whether you have optional or required attendance. So if you have required attendance, then we do keep track of whether or not you come to that class. If there's not required attendance, if it is optional, then we do not keep track of whether you came, and it does not hurt or help your hours earned or anything like that by attending the class, but it does help how much you learn. Completion of assignments applies to everyone regardless of the class. So you receive basically a credit for each assignment that you've done, and then if you do something late, you only get a half a credit for that. And then at the end, we count up all of the credits that you have, and you have to have at least 85% of them to receive your full hours of attendance on your certificate. So if you miss a couple of assignments, then you're going to miss a couple of credits. That's probably going to be okay. But again, if it keeps coming down, 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 then you will not receive the full hours on your certificate. So academic integrity is something that's very important here. It's something we deal with and face all the time. So remember, this just means honest and moral behavior in an academic setting. So just being honest about what work is yours and what work isn't, what work you found somewhere else, not having someone else help you too much. It's okay to ask questions of other people, but it's not okay to, for example, have them do your discussion posts for you. Always write the website or source where you found information. So some of our courses do require a bit of outside research on topics, or you might need to research something in order to write about it more closely and more thoroughly. So make sure you keep track of where you found that information and note that at the end of your post or your essay. Of course, don't copy sentences or paragraphs that are written by other people. That's a common problem. It will show up immediately for us, so please don't do that. Also, similarly, writing something in your native language and translating it. We do get this a lot. It's usually very obvious when this is done because grammar might be correct, punctuation might be correct, but the wording is usually very strange and off, and it becomes quite obvious. And you're not learning anything at that point. If you're not using the English you know and adding to it, then you're not going to get the most out of that class. Finally, if you're not sure if something is plagiarism, if you're not sure how much of a source you can use, then that's when you need to ask your teacher. it's fine to ask the teacher beforehand to send it off and say, hey, this is what I found. This much of it came from this website. Is this correct? Is it too much? And they'll guide you on that. That's what they're there for. It's best to ask them beforehand rather than to just do it and see if they find it and then potentially lose credit for that assignment.
Thank you, Jeff. So before we close out the information online orientation video, I did want to just tell you all just some important information needed as well as contact information. So beginning on January 11, 2021, all students must enroll in dual multi-factor authentication. What is dual multi-factor? Basically, it's a two-factor authentication that enhances the security of your account by using a secondary device to verify your identity. So what this means is you'll be asked to register a smartphone, a tablet, your iPhone, Android, and every time you want to log into your PACE portal, your classes.pace.edu, it will ask you to enter another code that will just help prevent anyone from accessing your account, even if they do know your password. So when you do register one of these secondary devices, it will give you a code that you will be able to enter on the website before you can access your website. You will be sent a step-by-step guide by email closer to the beginning of your courses, just basically letting you know these are the steps that you need to do in order to register your secondary device and how to use dual multi-factor authentication. We also did want to provide you with some important contact information. It's very important to know that if you are having issues accessing your account, if you're having issues accessing your email or activating your account, we can only do so much, but we do recommend all students to contact our ITS department, because that is the department that will be able to help you with account issues, password issues, things of that nature. We do recommend all students to call them, as you will get a quicker response and you'll be able to speak to an IT representative and they'll be able to walk you step by step on the issues that you're having. But of course, you can also email them or contact them online by submitting a help desk ticket. We did provide you all with the regular hours for the New York City campus. And then again, as a friendly reminder, it's important to activate your PACE account, access your PACE email and your classes.pace.edu account as soon as possible in order for you to begin your classes with us. And again, if you have any questions about our program, about our courses, we have various ways for you to get in contact with us. We have WhatsApp, we have WeChat, we have social media, Facebook and Instagram, our office number, and our email. If you do want to schedule an appointment with us, either by phone or by Zoom video call, please do so with this link right here. Also very important to know that our offices are open Monday through Fridays from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So if you do contact us through the weekend, please know that we will respond to you as soon as we return on Monday morning. Again, thank you all for studying with us. We're very, very excited to have you all with us, and welcome to PACE University. Thank you, everybody.